Tuesday, 19th of March 2013, and this is my first ever video blog, video diary, whatever. I'm going to be the first one. I just really wanted to touch on what's happened over the last year or so, because March of 2012 was very different for me. In fact, I don't remember much of March 2012. I was in and out of hospital quite a lot. That's a page turner, isn't it? Yes. Okay. This is quite depressing, so I do apologise, but it does get better. Stick with it. March 2012, beginning of March, unfortunately, I had a breakdown. It started with a suicide attempt. A bit blasé, but yes, that's how it started. And I prefer to stick with blasé because it's better than emotional. The facts are, quite difficult. Right. Something happened to me in my life and it just pushed me over the edge, and I didn't know how to deal with it. And the suicide attempt wasn't a conscious thing, it just happened, and I cannot explain that much better. All I can say is I was somewhat removed from it. I just remember watching myself doing it. I remember standing in a pub taking endless tablets, and just at the back of my head I was, oh, this is interesting, this is not something you see every day. And there was two things going on. There was my consciousness, which was somewhat removed, and there was this emotional side that had taken over, that was just trying to kill myself. And it wasn't until the next day when I woke up in hospital and spoke to some people there and realised just what happened. It was horrifying. Anyway, that wasn't the end of the horror. There was a month full of in and out of hospital and not really knowing what was going on. My head was in, I don't know where it was. There was a point where I convinced myself I couldn't speak. I'd gone days without sleep, to the point where I was hallucinating. I was seeing people in the bedroom. It was horrifying. And then it all came to a head with a second suicide attempt. Well, I don't know. I was picked up off the floor, unconscious, and having difficulty breathing. I don't remember what I'd actually done, but anyway, that was the kick up the arse I needed. Thankfully, I pulled myself out of that very dangerous place, thank God. But I was still very irrational. I still didn't want help, I didn't know what I wanted. And I'd been put on a waiting list, and I just sat there for ages. But things started to take a toll, not just on me, but on my relationship. And the people around me were starting to become depressed themselves. That they were very unhappy, very nervous, very frightened, not just for myself but for them, because it does take a toll on everyone around you. So Chris phoned Mind in Macclesfield and spoke to a lovely lady there, and that phone call turned everything around. It started me on the road to recovery. It sounds patronising, doesn't it? But it was a road to recovery. And I think that's where I want to leave that story, because that is in the past and we're 12 months on, and what I really want to concentrate on is the fact that there is life after it, and you know, there's light at the end of the tunnel. And I could have killed myself last year, and I've never felt this bit strange saying it now, but I feel happy. Sadly, my moods are up and down, but I had, from Christmas to last Friday, a period of I'm so happy, everything's amazing, you know. I re-engaged with life, and you know, I found things I was really passionate about, and my God, this is all going so good. And then suddenly you park all that, but there's also this dangerous thing that happens. You forget about the depression, you forget it's there, and then there was part of me that really thought, it's gone. It's gone. No more depression. That's it. And I've been pouring my heart, body and soul into a lot of different projects, you know, that I was really, really excited about. And I still am. But on Friday, the depression started creeping back. But I put that down to the fact that I was quite tired. I would been working quite hard, and then Saturday came along, and one minute I was up, excited, and the next minute I was and I swang like that from Saturday through Sunday. And then yesterday it came to a head, and I was in tears. Absolute tears, crying about everything. I got stuck in this idea, it's back, it's taken control, and you start thinking all these terrible, what's the point, why am I doing this? It's very difficult when that happens. But what I really do want to say is that these things come, and thankfully they go. But when you're in them, it seems like it's the end of the world, and it's very difficult sometimes. It's very difficult to motivate yourself. And thankfully I've got someone very close to me who is helping me see what I'm doing, you know. And unfortunately, there are people out there who may not have that, who might be alone. What I want to say to you is, it's horrible, and it's very easy for me to sit here and say, it gets better, because that's bloody patronising. Because I know myself, when you're in there, you just want to cry, you want to get into bed, and you want everything to go away. But there is something worth. The words are sticking at the back of my throat because they're patronising. There's something worth living for, and I realised that, and I realised that I could have lost all that. I could have done something really stupid, and all these passions that I've re-engaged with, I could have forgotten about them completely. But they were always there. They were always there, and that's how I'm pulling myself out of these holes, the holes of depression. I can pull myself out of them now because I know there's something that I'm happy about. Even saying it's making me, because you might notice I'm up and down here. But even talking about it, I'm feeling happier now. I feel a lot brighter. I'm going to get on with it. Anyway, that was quite a long, that was quite a long preamble for my first one. So I'm going to be doing these on a weekly basis. Next one isn't going to be. I hope it's not going to be as lengthy or depressive. I'd like to tell you, all the brilliant things that are going on, because there's quite a lot of brilliant things going on. Certainly the website, ChangeFor.me.uk. There's going to be a lot more worksheets going on this week, and concentrating on getting a spreadsheet version of the worksheet, so you can download and you can do them on your computer instead of writing them out, because I've been using the worksheets myself. My hand hurts, it really does. So you can go ahead and type them. I'm not that malicious. Quite lovely, really. Anyway, I'm going to leave it there. That was a long one, and I don't want to talk anymore. I'm going to get a biscuit and a cup of tea, and maybe jog. I'm not going to jog. No. A biscuit and a cup of tea. Right.